is Tim Albright previewing AV3. AV3event.com is the website. The virtual event we're doing in collaboration with AV Network as well as AVIXA. With me to talk about D&H and their upcoming presentation is Mr. Pete Hurley from D&H. Welcome, sir.
Hey, good afternoon, Tim.
Really quickly, there's a bit of move in distributorships and a move to distribution inside the AV space as AV becomes more and more a little bit like IT, and I'll let other people debate whether or not AV is IT or IT is AV. That's not for this, but that has been kind of a move. Talk for a second about some of the strengths that D&H has over some of your competitors. One of the things that I'd like you to highlight, though, is the fact that you guys are employee owned. You is a part of an ESOP. I don't quite off the top of my head know what the ESOP stands for. There's an employee stock thing in there, but you guys are employee owned. And talk for a second about how that gives you some stability.
As a company, I think we just make smart decisions. So I think that's the differentiator of an ESOP versus maybe a privately held company or a public company that isn't owned by its employees. We don't have to make decisions that are beholden to a financial entity outside of the direction of Michael and Dan and the rest of the executives. But there is just a sense of holding each other accountable, and then it also brings together a really tight collaboration. And all of this is being done through not being in the office with somebody for the past year. But pretty unique story in that 104 years, and the ESOP is probably the differentiator versus our competitors.
All right. You guys, if you go to the D&H website, there's three kind of markers that you want people to know. One is experience, expertise, but also education. Talk for a second about the importance of education, especially in the AV space, where you guys as distributors, you'll bring on a new product, you'll bring on a new line, or one of your partners will bring out some new piece of technology. How important is it for you as the distributor to make sure that your clients and your dealers are educated on this new technology and some of the benefits and capabilities of it?
Well, sure. If you're educated, you'll probably go talk to someone about it. So the thing I look at is if we educate a reseller, it empowers them to go make more money and make better decisions and be able to expand their product offering and just their overall book of business by being educated. It doesn't always have to be technical. It could be stories about from a business perspective. And if you look at the Pro AV business unit, many of the customers that we're approaching today probably left the AV portion off the table when they walked out of there doing their traditional IT business. So your comment about the two being integrated, it's probably been that way for 15 years where they can play together. And our main goal is to enable anybody to do AV and IT at the same time through us.
Yeah, absolutely. As we wrap up here, Pete, take a look at kind of the rest of the year and from a distributor standpoint and several lines that come together. So you're talking to a number of vendors. What are you guys hearing or what are you guys seeing as far as the rest of the year when it comes to AV, some of the opportunities that we have?
I have heard nothing but large anticipation for growth. So there is the expectation, which comes naturally as you grow. We had a phenomenal year as a company and as an industry, really. So I expect that pent-up demand that we're all hopeful for, we're not hoping on it. It's here. Like, we feel it. And we're feeling it now. We just came through our first month of our new year, had another record month. So I don't anticipate that that's going to drop off. And we're finding more customers that we can help, but they're also finding more people that they need to help. And I think it's just natural that the economy is opening up, and we're running with it. The ways that D&H is able to support that growth for our customers is through our credit facilities, and then the very aggressive position that we're taking on inventory with key vendors. We cannot help that there's a delay in product that's happening. Some of the back orders are significant, as you read in the periodicals, but we're doing our best to stay aggressive in placing orders and staying engaged with resellers.
It's actually a really good point. Is you leveraging distributors to kind of not necessarily circumvent supply chains, because supply chain issues are going to happen, but at least help in certain areas. Absolutely, that's a great point. Pete, we got to see you on June 17th. You and your cohort, Amy Schwartz from D&H, are going to be giving one of the Tech Tail talks. Until then, between now and then, if somebody wants to connect with you or D&H Distributing, how do they do that?
Best way to get in touch with the Pro AV team is through Pro AV, that's PROAV, at dandh.com. And then personally, you can hit me on an email at phurley at dnh.com.
All right, very good. Pete Hurley from D&H Distributing. Thank you so much. Again, you get to see Pete at the AV3 event, AV3event.com, June 17th. Sign up for it and you get yourself a handful of CTS RUs alongside us. We'll also be AV Network, our friends over at SCN, and Avixa. So all that and more at AV3event.com, AV3event.com.